"Who are you?" Nico said. "Speak." The man frowned as if trying to remember. Then he spoke in a voice like dry, crumbling paper. "I am Theseus." No way, I thought. This couldn't be the Theseus. He was just a kid. I'd grown up hearing stories about him fighting the Minotaur and stuff. I'd always pictured him as this huge, buff guy. The ghost I was looking at wasn't strong or tall. He wasn't any older than I was. "How can I retrieve my sister?" Nico asked. Theseus' eyes were lifeless as glass. "Do not try. It is madness." "Just tell me." "My stepfather died," Theseus remembered. "He threw himself into the sea because he thought I was dead in the labyrinth. I wanted to bring him back, but I could not." Nico's ghost hissed. "My lord, the soul exchange. Ask him about that." Theseus scowled. "That voice. I know that voice." "No, you don't, fool," the ghost said. "Answer the Lord's question and nothing more." "I know you," Theseus insisted, as if struggling to recall. "I want to hear about my sister," Nico said. "Will this quest into the labyrinth help me get her back?" Theseus was looking for the ghost, but apparently couldn't see him. Slowly, he turned his eyes back on Nico. "The labyrinth is treacherous. There is only one thing that saw me through. The love of a mortal girl. The string was only part of the answer. It was the princess who guided me." "We don't need any of that," the ghost said. "I will guide you, my lord. Ask him if it's true about an exchange of souls. He will tell you." "A soul for a soul?" Nico asked. "Is it true?" I must say yes. But the spectre—" "Just answer the questions, knave," the ghost said. Suddenly, around the edges of the pool, the other ghosts became restless. They stirred, whispering in nervous tones. "I want to see my sister," Nico demanded. "Where is she?" "He is coming," Theseus said fearfully. "He has sensed your summons. He comes." "Who?" Nico demanded. "He comes to find the source of this power," Theseus said. "You must release us." The water in my fountain began to tremble, humming with power. I realized the whole cabin was shaking. The noise grew louder. The image of Nico in the graveyard started to glow until it was painful to watch. "Stop!" I said out loud. "Stop it!" The fountain began to crack. Tyson muttered in his sleep and turned over. Purple light threw horrible, ghostly shadows on the cabin walls, as if the specters were escaping right out of the fountain. In desperation, I uncapped Riptide and slashed at the fountain, cleaving it in two. Salt water spilled everywhere, and the great stone front crashed to the floor in pieces. Tyson snorted and muttered, but he kept sleeping. I sank to the ground, shivering from what I'd seen. Tyson found me there in the morning, still staring at the shattered remains of the saltwater fountain. Just after dawn, the quest group met at Zeus's Fist. I'd packed my knapsack, a thermos with nectar, baggie of ambrosia, bedroll, rope, clothes, flashlights, and lots of extra batteries. I had Riptide in my pocket. The magic shield/switch wristwatch that Tyson had made for me was on my wrist. It was a clear morning. The fog had burned off and the sky was blue. Campers would be having their lessons today, flying Pegasus, practicing archery, and scaling the lava wall. Meanwhile, we'd be heading underground. Juniper and Grover stood apart from the group. Juniper had been crying again, but she was trying to keep it together for Grover's sake. She kept fussing with her clothes, straightening his Rasta cap and brushing goat fur off his shirt. Since we had no idea what we'd encounter, he was dressed as a human, with a cap to hide his horns and jeans, fake feet, and sneakers to hide his goat legs. Chiron, Quintus, and Miss O'Leary stood with the other campers who'd come to wish us well, but there was too much activity for it to feel like a happy send-off. A couple of tents had been sent up by the rocks for guard duty. Beckendorf and his siblings were working on a line of defense spells and trenches. Chiron had decided that we needed to guard the labyrinth exit at all times, just in case. Annabeth was doing one last check on her supply pack. When Tyson came over, she frowned. "Percy, you look terrible." "He killed the waterfall last night," Tyson confided. "What?" Before I could explain, Chiron trotted over.
"Well,
It appears you're ready.